Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Washington Nationals March to October. Today we have our second first round player draft of this series, but first we have to get through this extra inning game against the White Sox. Tied here at 4 in the 10th, and let's see what we have so far to this point. K-Bear Ruiz has a 4 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. He's hit 2 home runs. Okay, so he is the offense today. Abrams, though, himself has 2 hits and a walk. Sheets with a couple hits and a walk. Matt Chapman made an error. That's not something you want to see, but he also stole a base along with Robles. Cade Cavalli gave us 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, only 2 strikeouts, 9 hits, and 3 walks. That's a lot more base runners than you want to see. And then Jordan Hicks with 4 innings out of the pen, really? We're letting him go that long in a single outing? Man, they have Andrew Benintendi with his 14th home run on the season. Could you imagine? Dylan Cease started for them. They have Jose Ruiz on the mound now, and he's still out there. And we actually have a pretty good matchup right now with CJ Abrams up against a righty, runner on second, and that runner's got some speed. Wow, look at the bottom here. Nationals, which is us, and Dodgers lead MLB with 8 top 100 prospects. We have 8 top 100 prospects. I wonder who they are, because that's another screen you can't get to in March to October, is that top prospects across the league screen. I mean, it's got to be our 2 center fielders, Brady House, and then who? Are a bunch of the pitchers I drafted? Oh, and I didn't want to swing at that, and they made me. That was a really good 2-strike pitch. Actually, I should have just let it fly and swing at that. I had good timing with a good PCI. Might have just hit it back up the middle. Rui, oh man, he could have done it again. That was so close. Oh, and then I got under with good timing. That's not good to not score a run in our extra inning, because now they're going to have that runner on second. All they got to do is bring him around and it's over. Man, Hicks actually has a lot of energy left for already going 4 innings, but only 39 pitches in those 4 innings. I'm not going to leave him in though. Or actually, you know what? I might, because he has 83 pitching clutch, which is higher than anybody I would have brought in, either Mantiply or Sandlin. So yeah, that runner on second, it's pitching clutch in effect here, so let's keep Hicks in the game. There we go. All right, a couple chases there for 2 strikes. And the fastball right up and in. Perfect spot. Man, with how big his par is on that pitch, you have no idea where it's going to end up, and it just happened to go in the right spot. And there we go, another strikeout. Come on, one more out. This is going so well so far. They have Tim Anderson in the 9 hole. Man, they went for it. Unlike the Sox in real life, that's probably what they need to do. Come on, Abrams, no bobbles here. Nice, easy throw, and Hicks gets us through the 10th. Man, I completely forgot until partway through that inning, but didn't Jordan Hicks have a big game earlier this season where he gave us 2 scoreless extra innings with that free runner on second? And now he's coming through again after already having pitched 4 innings? Joe Kelly, though, coming in on legend difficulty could be kind of tough for me. And Matt Chapman, I beat it right into the ground. Neither of us can even move that runner up. Oh, and it's Ahmed Rosario. Yeah, I remember seeing in the box score he got subbed in. Hey, I don't know. Let's see what he can do. And he can't do anything. If that pitch dropped a little more, it would have been a pretty decent swing. Oh, and I really didn't feel like I missed that. Well, that's not good. I don't think we can give Hicks another inning with him being in the yellow here. So now we have to go to the bullpen. What's the move here? I think the move is Mantiply. Technically, all 3 of these hitters due up are worse against lefties. Although I guess it is the clutch rating. Mantiply is only a 65. Let's still get him in here. He's a beast. And they're going to move him up. Now they got that go ahead run on third, and this is a tough spot because the thought of walking Leury Garcia to bring up Eloy sickens me, but also the thought of Leury dropping down a squeeze bunt and that's how they win also sickens me. So I think I have to put him on, get that force runner or force out at second, and if we can get Eloy grounding out, maybe we can turn 2 on him. even though he's like the best hitter in the AL right now, or one of the best. Okay. I thought that was getting through and ending the game. This is another scary at bat. Luis Robert with a lefty on the mound. Doesn't matter. Weak pop fly, we're there, keeping ourselves in this game. I had a feeling this would happen. I kind of just wanted to get through this moment and get to the draft. But this has turned into a game here. Come on, though. It's Luis Garcia, Mr. Clutch. If anyone's going to come through, it's got to be him. All right, didn't really want that. Garcia drawing the walk. Doesn't move the runner up or anything. And now it's Lane Thomas. Tough matchup, righty-righty, but he's been a beast. Oh, that's going to move him up. I'm going to send him to third on that. Oh, man, that's kind of a throw, though. Way closer than I thought it would be. All right, Sheets, do it against your former team here. Just a base hit. Deep fly ball, even. Just don't ground into a double play. That should get the job done. I got under that low sinker. 64 speed is plenty, and Gavin Sheets drives in the go-ahead run. Oh, man, Kiermaier. That was a pitch to do some damage with, and I found a way to get under it. All right, we just need one more inning of stranding that runner at second. We've got Efros ready to go to close this one out. There we go. We like that. Okay. I don't like moving the runner up right away, but we got the out. I thought that was going to get through there for a second. Okay. Now how much longer is this game going to go? All right, we'll take it. Frozen up and in. There we go. I mean, a one-run lead is never safe in extras with that runner on second, but just, of course, they would finally get their run across, the inning that I finally get my run across. And now we're headed to 13. Going to a lefty, Aaron Bummer. Also pretty tough to hit, especially lefty-lefty. You know what I'm going to do then? I'm going to try and drop one down, at least move the runner over right away. Maybe Abrams himself gets on. Maybe we don't try and lay down a bunt on a pitch a foot out of the zone. You see, he didn't run on contact there on that bunt. So then I pressed L1 to get him to run, not even thinking that there was an easy play to make at third. Okay, that was my fault. Is that one gonna drop in? It is. We're going to get Abrams all the way up to third. All right, not much harm done then. How about that, though? A 5-hit game for Keibert Ruiz. And Matt Chapman's going to ground himself into a double play. I can't believe... I saw that pitch all the way in. It was perfectly backdoored, but I was ready for it, and I was too early. Well, that probably shouldn't move him up to third then. I don't know why he was flat-footed catching that, but we're good. And that's gonna end it. Man, that was a crappy at-bat too. I had so many good two-strike pitches to Benintendi there, and he kept fighting them off. That sucks. Sucks on Efros too, that he has to get the blown save and the loss, even though he didn't give up a single earned run. And I guess I'm just right back to not hitting again, aren't I? I did. I think I only got one hit in all those innings that I stepped up to the plate, and it was that Keibert Ruiz blooper that didn't even deserve to be a hit. And that's a lot of negative momentum too. I hope it lies to you when it's negative also, because I don't want to see 4 snowflakes. That's going to cost us the division. We finally took the division lead. I'm thinking we're good to hang on to it throughout the rest of this thing. And now we're going to go right back to dropping games here. It did lie, though, at least. So it was only 3 snowflakes, but that's still enough momentum to lose a couple games. Yeah, that gave us 2 losses there. And now we're ready to head into the draft on a sour note. So I'm going to take a bunch of time here and add some prospects to our board, because I feel like I'm way less prepared than I was last year in terms of knowing specific players I want to go after. But I want to try and do this right. I want to get the best picks we can. But see, it's things like this that I still don't really understand when it comes to scouting. And it's like, what do you trust and what don't you trust? So this lefty reliever here, Broderick Banks, MLB has him ranked 9th in this draft class. But after we scouted him fully, we've got him ranked all the way down at 137. And it's pretty clear why. It seems like we uncovered his potential rating is garbage. Like, he's going to be better now than he will be in the future. He's just going to regress. That's what we've uncovered. However, when you go here and you look at the scouting for now versus the future, like determined by potential as you improve theoretically, this screen is still trying to tell us that he's going to get better. So like, if we know his potential rating is between 63 and 68, but his current overall is between 68 and 73, how are all of his attributes going to improve? You know what I mean? Like, is this entire screen just a lie? Does that mean I shouldn't trust it for anybody? All right, so I have the draft board, the queue set, and honestly, between these top 4, I don't know who the pick is, because you got Ben Ramos here, who, based on our scouting, we have ranked number 1 now, but based on the MLB draft rank, he should still be there by our pick at number 30. But I feel like, and again, now I don't know if I can trust this screen, but I feel like based on this screen, he's kind of underwhelming, and also he only has 3 pitches, doesn't even throw that hard. Meanwhile, this guy, Jose Ayala, is not even ranked on the MLB draft rankings, but we have him ranked all the way up at 21. He has both good potential and a pretty solid starting overall, but look at those per 9s, if that's telling the truth. Those hits and Ks per 9, pretty good stamina also, throw in the fact that he has a 4-pitch mix and throws that fastball pretty hard. But then also Marty Jarvis here, if he's still there at pick number 30, still a pretty solid first base pick, better against lefties, which is what kind of we've been looking for this whole time. So I don't know, we'll just have to see how things are by the time we finally get to our first pick, because we won the World Series last year. So we have the last pick of the first round. We don't pick until number 30. This is going to be a much different draft than last year. So let's just go right ahead and get things started. There's really no reason to stall anymore. I don't really have any stakes in this. So let's see, who is the number 1 overall pick? Emilio Salazar. I mean, I didn't scout any of the really top end guys, but look at this. They must know something that the rest of the field doesn't, because he's ranked 37 overall. All right, and the second pick, I think this one's going to Arizona. Actually, now I think of it, I don't even know who the number 1 player was on the MLB board. Well, it was this guy. Emmett Roos. Without having him scouted at all, he does look like he could be a pretty solid pick. And then I think this is the last of the 3 that get an animation. So who do we got here? The Pirates, they get Angelo Curran, left-handed starting pitcher. Again, somebody I didn't have scouted, but another guy ranked somewhat far down there. Wow, and look at this pick. At 14, the Rangers picked the 145th ranked player. Oh, and there goes Marty Jarvis ahead of schedule too. So man, what did the Rays see in this? What are their scouts telling them? Because like, MLB ranks Marty Jarvis 28th. We had him ranked all the way down at 47, but the Rays saw something in him to take him 15. So like, if hypothetically the Rays were controlled by a real player and they got access to the same screens that I see, would theirs have his draft rank up at 15? Or higher? Like, is this my scouts maybe either being better than their scouts or worse than their scouts? There's just so much I feel like I still don't fully understand about the scouting in this game. But that's also kind of the fun of it, I guess. And all right, we are on the clock. None of our relief pitchers got taken that I was looking at. So now I got to make the decision for myself. And man, it's kind of tough. I feel like, and I did learn my lesson last draft, to go with our rank and not just rely on the MLB draft rank to say they'll be there next round. But the fact that this guy is not ranked at all, and these 2 guys are both ranked top 31, I feel like I should take one of these other 2 guys because it's a safer bet, assuming Ayala will still be there by my next pick. So this is just what I'm deciding here. Doug Phillips, high ranked also, lefty, only a 3-pitch mix, but as a lefty reliever, that's sometimes all you need. Good potential, solid starting overall, really good looking hits per 9. 9. All his per 9s really are solid, but that hits per 9 really stands out. The break's good, but something about Ben Ramos, the fact that our scouts, who with their pitching ratings are like high 90s, some of the best scouts you can have to scout pitchers, they've decided that Ben Ramos is the best pick in the draft. Not just the best pick available, but the top talent in the draft. So I feel like I have to take him. I have to trust our scouts. And I mean, really, if he is 18, starts somewhere in the middle there at like a 64, 65 overall, with a high 80s, low 90s potential, you can't really go wrong there. It's just the only thing that's bothering me is the 3-pitch mix with not a whole lot of velo. And even that changeup is about the same speed as his other 2 pitches. But you know what? I'm trusting the scouts. We're going with the scouts. I really hope this pays off and doesn't completely come around to bite me in the end. But we are going with Ben Ramos as our first pick in this draft. So we make it official there, and we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Man, I so wish that screen that tells you the real rating just popped up right away. Oh, and there's Broderick Banks, the guy that we talked about a bit. See, and that's the thing. Did they just get an amazing pick in him, or did they make a terrible pick? And that's why I would want to see the real rating sooner. But now we're going to have to wait like 3 in-game weeks. Probably not even going to get to see that in this episode. It's going to be 1, if not 2 more episodes before we get to see what our picks are actually looking like. Oh, and there goes Doug Phillips. I didn't think he was going to last all the way until our next pick. It was just kind of an either or between him and Ramos. Man, now I feel like I also got to decide between this guy and Ayala if the decision comes up by our pick, because it would be nice to get a lefty reliever. His potential rating is a little bit on the lower side, but still, it's a relief pitcher. We have mid-70s doing amazing all the time, but this guy just has really good per 9s, especially the walks per 9. A 4-pitch mix, although a changeup and a splitter, you know, I don't know. I feel very underprepared for this draft compared to the last one. I have a feeling that come the end of it, we're gonna end up picking players that we really don't have scouted, and we're just going to be taking a shot. And we're about to be back on the clock, and Jose Ayala is still on the board. I think I'm going to go with him. I mean, 99 potential strikeouts per 9. Even right now, it's between 81 and 91. The hits per 9's good. 4 pitches. Good stamina is always nice for a reliever, too, to throw in there. Solid potential rating. Solid current rating. I mean, in terms of what our scouts say the true rankings are, we're making 2 really good picks here. To get the number 1 player at 30, and then now to get the number 21 player at 66. Theoretically, we're having a pretty good draft so far. I don't know why, but there is part of me that kind of wants to take a shot on somebody that I don't have scouted. I don't know specifically this guy because he could be gone by our next pick, but I don't know, man. I kind of want that thrill of taking somebody that we have no idea about and seeing what they might end up becoming. Oh man, we had back-to-back players I was keeping my eye on taking. Andres Garcia might have been actually my next pick. Another reliever that looked pretty good. And then Cedric Jeffries was a guy I remember I discovered, and really the only thing that stood out about him was his speed, so I probably wouldn't have picked him this early anyway. But we are back on the clock, and yeah, I mean, on the board we're down to just 3 relievers left. This guy's a lefty. Those numbers look pretty good, but he also is only 50% scouted, so they could be way off. Or we could just do something extreme and just kind of take a player that we know nothing about. Well, this guy here, Henry Samuel, I didn't have on my my draft board, but he's the highest ranked player according to us that's left on the board. 18 years old. That potential window is still pretty wide there. Walks and homers per 9 looks pretty good. I kind of like the pitch mix too. A hard sinker with a slider and a sweeping curve. That could be kind of a specialty arm type situation. Or we could take a guy like this who just, you know, is randomly there. We have no idea where that potential or current overall is going to hit. Nah, you know what? I'll play it at least somewhat safe. I think I'll just go ahead and take this Leo Blanco guy that we don't have scouted too great. Only 50%, but a lefty arm, what we have intel on, looks like at least the potential of solid per nines. He's got good velo, a 5-pitch mix. I didn't even realize that. Okay, that makes me feel even better about it. So we're going to go ahead, snag Leo Blanco, draft our 3rd relief pitcher of the draft. I feel like this is maybe the most boring selections we could be making to load up on relief pitching. But you know what? We still have 3 picks left. We've gotten what should be 3 good relief pitchers. I might call it on the relief pitchers there. We might make some selections for the rest of this that are just going to be kind of pick a guy and hope they might be something. I think I might have found my guy to just kind of spray and pray and hope he ends up being something good. Geraldo Diaz. I mean, again, I have no idea what to trust, especially with only 5% scouting. But what I don't get is how, from what we do know, his potential is somewhere between 39 and 73, like a max of 73. But look at the windows on the individual ratings, even like the current windows. If he hits on the upper end of all those hitting stats, that's way above a 73. Could you imagine if we take this guy in the 4th round, not having scouted him at all, and he just like hits on the upper end of all of that? I hope he stays there now. I kind of want to take this guy and just see what happens. We got a long ways to go to get there, though. He is ranked 123, so that'd be 11 more picks after his ranking that we got to hope he makes it. See, like, this is where I just don't know, like, what you trust more. Because this guy has that potential between 85 and 99. But then all these ratings, all the future ones, are bad. So, like, if you can just look at this screen, and that would be a better determinant, that'd kind of be good to know. Because, like, you can take your shots in the dark, but at least maybe know that this would still be a bad pick, or maybe it'd be a good pick. I don't know what to trust more. Oh man, I just got back to this screen and our guy Geraldo Diaz got taken. Man, I was really hoping he would make it. I'm so curious to see what he ends up as. But I spent some time there adding some other dudes who, you know, we have no scouting on, but like, look at this guy, that right side, all those fielding attributes, the speed and all that, all blues with really good power. All right, we're back on the board and that guy got taken. 1 pick before me. I don't know, man. I mean, none of these other guys look as intriguing as the couple that I had mentioned here. Maybe this guy, maybe Lorenzo Tejada, looks like he could end up being pretty good hitting across the board. Well, this guy too has pretty promising looking contact, if it actually is, and we were kind of looking for first baseman, so maybe he's someone to take. I don't know, man. We are flying completely blind right here. Here's another guy with solid looking contact. This dude too, Milt Haas. Or we could take the guy that we have fully scouted. Doesn't look like anything too special, but another catcher prospect to add to the mix with decent potential if he ever gets there. You know, I'm gonna take this guy, Angel I don't know, Paulito. I'm just going to go with him. I like that his contact, vision, and discipline could be high. He could be really fast. Who knows? But let's take him and see what happens. Well, here's a guy I don't know how I missed, and I probably would have taken him if I saw this. I don't know. All I'm really looking for is some light blues there in that future column just to, I don't even know. I guess that just gives us the best chance, I would hope. But even those current windows, if he hits somewhere in the middle to be at about a 50 rating across the board at hitting, that's not like too bad for an 18-year-old. So hopefully now this guy's still there the next time around, but I don't have the best feeling about that, considering how that last guy got taken. I don't know though, maybe this is something to keep in mind too, to determine who to actually scout in the build-up next year. Like if I find some of these guys like this Alonso Acevedo, maybe I scout him up and then I can know for sure what he's looking like. I mean, I'm guessing he's not going to end up being that great because there's probably one of the 30 teams out there that does have him scouted and they know that he's not actually that promising, or else they would have taken him by now. Wait, I'm confused. This Lorenzo Tejada, who was also on my list, got taken, but he's still on my list. All right, it looks like he made it all the way to me. That's so confusing. It's saying I can draft Lorenzo Tejada, but I see him right here. He already got picks. I mean, I would love to know what would happen if I also click to draft him right now, but I got my mind set on this guy and I don't want to mess that up. So we're going to take Alonso Acevedo here, a lefty 18-year-old left fielder, and if he hits anywhere even close to the upper end of any of that stuff, this will be the pick of the century. All right, well, we are on the clock for our last pick. Not really much to choose from with what's left, but this Lorenzo Tejeda, I just realized it's not Tejada, it's Tejeda. He's still there. It says I can draft him, so I'm gonna try. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so I click it and it doesn't actually let me take him. So I know I said no more relief pitchers, but it's not like we have much of a chance or choice. So it's pretty much between Kenny Galarraga or Mariano Santos. We got them both scouted. Scouts say Galarraga's better. Santos, it looks like at least has better chance to have good hits and Ks per 9. Only 3 pitch mix for him though, with a potential capping out at 75, but for Galarraga it tops out at 80. He's got 4 pitches. I'm gonna go with Galarraga. So let's take him here. And we got him, and that is the 2024 first year player draft. I don't know how to feel about this one. I feel like at the end of the last draft, I was a little bit more excited, but also somewhat disappointed knowing who I missed out on. This time, I don't really know who I missed out on, and I don't really know to be excited about anyone that we did get. The best way I could describe my feeling about this draft is just cautiously optimistic, because there's nothing super exciting about drafting a bunch of relief pitchers, I feel like. But to get the guy that we have ranked number 1, and then in the second round to get the guy that we have ranked number 21, I feel like that is probably a good draft. And then on top of that, I'm excited to see what Leo Blanco becomes, because we only had him 50% scouted, but if those numbers are anything to go by, he could turn into something good. And then same thing with Angel Pulido, and then probably even more so Alonso Acevedo here that we got in the 5th round. I'm just very curious to see what these guys turn into. But I guess we won't really know until a couple episodes from now. Oh yeah, then we got to go back out and lose some more because I had negative momentum. I forgot about that. So I know from this screen, like with this signing period, you can scout people more, but I don't really see a reason to like put it off, because like we have enough money to sign everybody anyway. We have basically 5.5 mil in the bonus allotment. Our highest bonus demanded player is 2.5, so that leaves us with another 3 mil to sign the rest. These two guys want 500k, so that brings it down to 2 mil. Everybody else only wants about 200. Galarraga 200, these dudes in the 200, so that leaves plenty left. I guess not everybody's interested though. I didn't think about that. Only 50% interest. I mean, I guess as much as there's no reason to wait, there's also no reason to rush it. So I guess we can just throw some dudes up here, let them get scouted, let them build up some more interest, and then we can go from there. So yeah, I won't offer anybody anything just yet, and we'll let this play out a bit. Man, we had that much negative momentum. I thought it was only negative enough to give us 2 losses, and I think it gave us 4. We still finished the first half though with a 4.5 star rating. Maybe if we didn't drop 4 games in a row at the end, we would have gotten a full 5-star rating. But we're still smashing expectations. We're still plus 11 from our initial projected wins. And even though we might be in a little bit of a rut right now just because of that negative momentum, man, I feel like it keeps adding it back. Look at that. That's not neutral. Anyway, we should be in a good spot. We're still leading the division too. But I think this is where we will go ahead and end this one. And then from here on out, it's just trying to lock up this division, make it back to the postseason, and defend our title. So guys, as always, make sure if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and leave a like for me. Also, please feel free to let me know what you thought about the draft. If you have anybody you thought I shouldn't have taken, anybody I should have taken, if you thought a pick was good, a pick was bad, I want to hear. But that is all I got for today, so thanks for watching again, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.